Speaking of rain, speaking of weather, 133693, keep me posted about the damaging wind, the storms, as they come through this afternoon. We've got a couple of days of some pretty unsettled weather, including some thunderstorms. The State Emergency Service is particularly concerned about the next couple of days, the next 48 hours. On the line is Laura de Wilt, Victorian SES State Duty Officer. Laura, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Thanks, Heidi.
What area are you mostly concerned about and when?
Well, the whole of the state, unfortunately, has a risk of thunderstorms over the next few hours this afternoon and into the evening, but also tomorrow. The other area that we are concerned about is the coastal areas, particularly Rosebud, Phillip Island, Wilson's Prom, and even Apollo Bay and the Surf Coast, just in regards to some possible strong winds this evening, and given the amount of people that are likely camping at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the rain radar, and there seems to be a fair bit over Ballarat and north of Meredith at the moment. Some quite heavy rain west of Macedon.
We're monitoring that with the Bureau, yeah.
Is that some hail in there as well? It looks awfully heavy.
Potentially, yes, there is. So we're definitely using, the opportunity to remind people to keep an eye on conditions, utilise the Vic Emergency app and even set up a watch zone, particularly if you are outside of your local area. So if you're away at the moment, make use of the Vic Emergency app to set up that watch zone so you can get alerts per conditions as they change. Wildly
popular time of year to be in a tent or a caravan down on the foreshore or maybe up in the bush. What's your message to people in that situation?
So if they are camping, we're just making sure that they're thinking about where they're camping, so not necessarily under trees or near streams, and just definitely keep an eye on conditions and make use of some of the features of the Vic Emergency app to keep up to date with conditions as they do change.
What if you're not in a great zone for Wi-Fi, for phone coverage?
Yeah, that is a good point. So we would encourage everybody to just make sure that they're choosing a spot that is sensible, so not underneath a tree or near streams and lakes and those sorts of things, but also just keeping an eye on conditions, and if they're not comfortable, head home.
Is it possible to be any more specific about when the storm issues will be worst?
Not at this stage, unfortunately. We are expecting the afternoon to sort of be the peak of the risk for some of the storm damage. But as I mentioned, we've also got a risk of some severe wind along the coastal areas this evening. So it's a bit of a dynamic 24 to 48 hours for Victoria at the moment in terms of the weather.
Yeah, the next 24, 48, when you say we expect the peak today or for the next couple of days?
Yeah, that is for today. We're working with the Bureau to get a bit more intel on the forecast for tomorrow as well, so there is a risk of some storms tomorrow too.
All right, we'll let you go. I'm sure we'll be speaking again in the not-too-distant future. Thank you, Laura de Wilt, the Victorian SES State Duty Officer. Wherever you are around Victoria, 133693, especially if you're in one of those areas where there's some quite heavy falls at the moment. Wonthaggi's getting... according to the Bureau, the rain radar here, Wonthaggi's getting some fairly heavy rain at the moment. Ballarat, Balan, Macedon. Yeah, Macedon's had a little bit as well, just in the last little while, and out over the central part of the state. 133693. Keep me in touch.